Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay, let me see who was here first. Uh, Lydia Washington, thank you so much for being here first, and thanks for watching Royal Sussex. Annie Bullard, Judy Masterson, Lorna Williams, yes, see that, and Black Queen, and Gwendolyn Daniels, Elaine Parker, Beverly Jackson, and Angela Simmons, T Baby 35, and a host of friends and others. Okay, gonna scroll all the way down. BS Speaks Royally. I see some purple there. Okay. Um, wow, you guys are having a nice conversation. All right, so to be. Or is that to be? Yeah, to be. Okay, and Dorian Joseph, Marcia Ware, Mabel Jones, welcome, welcome, welcome. And there, got my slides up. So here's the good news. There are some new photos of Harry. Here's the bad news. I saw the source of those photos and I said, nah. Although, um, like I've always said, I enjoy seeing our faves just like everybody else. However, just as a matter of principle, I just don't want to share them. But um, you'll see them sooner or later. As a matter of fact, it's People Magazine. And that's what made it so surprising because the people that have been doing a lot of those photos lately, they are the ones that, oh, by the way, thank you so much. You guys probably heard that. That was a Cash App. Let me see here. Let me see, who is that from? Oh, um, MR, thank you so much for the Cash App. All right. And always thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. And okay, Lydia wants to say hi to a few people. Thank you very much for that. So, like I said, there is quite, quite nice photos of Harry. So I decided not to share them. But oh, Annie Bullard, you saw them, huh? Yeah, he looks like he's ready to eat up another one of those obstacle courses like he did on the James Corden. What is that? The Late Show? Yeah, like he can just eat up another obstacle course. So great photos, great photos. I mean, he's looking pumped, healthy, rested, relaxed. And I'm going to tell you why I was glad to see those photos. One of the reasons why I was so happy to see those photos is because they show him looking rather relaxed, and that's important to me because one of the things that concern me for Harry all the time is that I believe he works a lot, and so for that reason, I'm always glad to know that at least he's looking great, especially when there's so many people out there um, in the social media that would love to see him at the breaking point. And of course, the tabloid media, as I said, that guy that yells at Meghan, I finally had to realize he's not yelling at Meghan. He's actually trying to provoke Harry. Although there was one occasion he did that when when Harry wasn't around. But I'm sure he would love for, and it just goes to show how ignorant that individual is that he believes um, that Meghan is going to have some uh, public meltdown or something like that. Not in the least bit. So, and you know, I look at these photos and I'm just like, these two people right here, these kids, these children, who knew that they were going to go on and change the world as we know it? But they are. They are the change makers that the world needs right now. And of course, we see it as two people that are doing some very important work that can help a lot of other people. But the derangers, they see some little conspiring girl with horn rimmed glasses projecting projecting energy toward Harry, and on a visit to Buckingham Palace, their eyes met and they signaled to each other, yeah, let's destroy the royal family. Destroy the royal family. It's amazing. It's amazing how delusional some of the derangers are. But the thing is, they are the moment. And this is truly Sussex season. And I love the way it coincides with the royal vacations. You know what I mean? Although it's kind of hard not to catch the Cambridges or the Waleses or whatever you want to call them. It's kind of hard to not catch them on a break because they're constantly vacationing. But either way, um, great things are coming down the pike, and I'm excited about it. Wasn't expecting to see Harry today, but there he was, and I'm here for it. So glad to see that he's looking healthy, rested, and ready for the well child, and of course Invictus, and anything else that's coming this way. So let me see. Let me go here. Oh, yeah. So it said in the People magazine, Prince Harry spotted leaving Santa Barbara gym after after working up a sweat. The Duke of Sussex got in what appears to be an intense workout at a gym near his Montecito, California home. And of course, as we all know, in Montecito, there are no leaks in Montecito. Duke of Sussex, 38, was spotted leaving Santa Barbara gym after what appeared to be an intense workout Friday. Harry wore an all-black outfit for the outing, keeping it breezy in a t-shirt, shorts, and sneakers. He topped off the casual look with a navy California hat featuring the grizzly bear that appears on the state flag. And there it is right there. So even Harry, I mean, we all know Meghan sets trends where fashion is concerned. The last time Harry was noted for his outfit was there on the left side when he was making his way through the airport in Japan. This time it is leaving the gym. That's why I say they are. My screen is blurry. It looks fine over here. I don't know. Try to refresh your page or something, and maybe that'll work it out, I hope. But yeah, my screen looks okay. Let me open up another screen and see if I can see what you are seeing. Do you see what I see? Now, that wasn't Church Nelly that said that, because if it was Church Nelly, if it's Church Nelly saying that the screen is blurry, that means Church Nelly got in at about 5:30 this morning. Um, Church Nelly has a magic elixir that she makes in her on her property, off in the brush where can't nobody see it, that makes everything blurry. So was that Church Nelly? I don't recall who said that. But anyway, try to because if it's Church Nelly, there's nothing odd about having the occasional blurred vision. Anyway, what was I talking about? Let's see. Marianne Morris says Megan's husband is killing it. Yeah, he is. Okay, Olivia Johnson says, I'm looking at the pictures now on Twitter. Ah, I knew you'd find it. Yeah, they only just came out about an hour ago. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you for being a member as well as a moderator. So, yeah, you guys, listen, don't feel guilty. You can see where the photos came from. It came from those people that seem to um, follow the Sussexes or catch them here and there. But they're our faves and we love seeing them. So I just want you to not feel guilty about enjoying them because we all have feelings for our faves and we like to see them, and it's a guilty pleasure. I will admit it is a guilty pleasure. So worry not. We're on their side. Brown Girl. Wow, Brown Girl 48. 16 months membership. Thank you so much for that, for 16 months membership. Outstanding. Okay, Megan has a fashion sense that has upped his clothes. Yes, yes. Harry has been looking much better because of Megan's influence and his public speaking. Now, I when you go back and look at some of his older speeches, you can tell that Harry has found his voice. He's found the one, and he's found his voice. It's like night and day. Um, he's very well prepared, um, and the confidence. He's even more confident. It's even weird saying that Harry didn't have as much confidence because he's like the embodiment of confidence, right? But no, he has come a long way, and we are proud of him for that. Uh, uh, yeah, you know what? If I'm not saying it was Church Nelly. I think it was someone else. But if Church Nelly's screen is a little blurry, all I can say is go sleep it off. All I can say is go sleep it off. Here, just go sleep it off. Um, yeah, if your screen seems a little blurry or wobbly or sideways, just go sleep it off. Oh man. Oh, okay, let me get back into character here. Let's see. Rosa Roberts wants to say hi to a few people. Joyce Yvette Davis says, now they are clocking Harry's outfits. I have never known the media to call what male is wearing unless they are on the red carpet. That is so true. And they say Harry and Meghan are irrelevant. That is so true. That is so true. You never hear them say that about men, but then not every man is Harry. Harry is just he's a triple, quadruple threat. He's in touch with his feelings. He's a philanthropist. He's a producer, and a girl dad, boy dad, all those dads. I mean, he does it all. And then of course, I promise you, okay, his book, the timing of the book may not be the best for the Grammys, but if Harry doesn't get a Grammy for the spoken word, there is no justice. there's no justice, because his narration of Spare was phenomenal. Now, I've heard, people do their narrations for their books before, but Harry's was just super impressive. And I'm not saying that because that's Harry. I'm just saying that it's awesome. If you guys have only read the book and you haven't heard the audio, you don't know what you're missing. It to hear it in Harry's words is everything. Is absolutely everything. So you owe yourself that treat. Let's see here. Naomi Maria says, Baron, I love how the Queen snuck Harry and Meghan into her Windsor quarters before Hague, knowing the rest of the family were away on holiday and the rodents were sleeping. Yes, that was when the Queen got that burner phone out. All that time, the Queen was playing senile and out of touch and everything. But in spite of all of that, she had some people that she trusted. And since you brought that up, I'm thinking of something. What if, I don't know what Anne's schedule was that at that period? What if it was Anne who helped? I mean, after all, when Harry went to Balmoral, she seemed to be the only person to show some form of humanity to him, even though his Pa and his Willie were off plotting somewhere. Um, Anne was the only person that showed him any type of humanity in that family. So I'm just saying, it had to be someone trusted. Not likely Anne, but I'm just saying a big what if. Interesting thing, isn't it? But yeah, it had to be someone that the Queen trusted. Let's see here. Marianne Morris says, no wonder the Rangers lose their minds. They spend so much time disparaging the Sussexes, and then the Sussexes step out with a pep on their step. And what to say? What to say? Yeah, absolutely. That confidence is what destroys them. They want Megan and Harry. Oh gosh, what paper is that? I think it's the Telegraph. It's the Telegraph, or is it the? Yeah, I think it's the Telegraph. On Twitter, they have an ad. It looks like just a regular tweet, but it's an advertisement for the Telegraph that says something about Harry and Meghan misjudged something in Hollywood, and that's I'm you know ugh, I'm not sure how I want to couch this, but I'll just say it's ridiculous, this notion that Harry and Meghan are trying to be popular in front of the cameras. They are not. They are going about their business. It is the cameras that are finding them, not the other way around. And so when it serves them, they love to accuse the Sussexes of calling the photographers so that they can get some attention. Meghan wasn't on that years ago. Even one of her co-stars from Suits said that Meghan had mentioned that she was going to transition to doing philanthropy, doing more volunteering, being someone who doesn't lunch for a living, but someone who actually works for a living. That was her plan, was to do something more in lines with exactly what she's doing today. That was her intention then. But the tabloids don't want to follow that line right there. They would rather, especially Angela Latrine, they would rather perpetuate this idea that Meghan is attention seeking, even after, as Harry said, we spent a whole year and didn't say anything And still they were briefing against us. Still they were writing these ridiculous stories about us. And so when they choose to take the time to put things on the record in their own voice and speak out, then of course there's something wrong with them for doing that. And now they have decided, all right, we got that out of our system, we're moving on. But they won't let go because, like I said, the Telegraph has an ad that looks like a tweet with a picture of Harry and Meghan looking as though they're startled about something, declaring that they have made some wrong move in Hollywood and there's no going back or some nonsense like that. And I'm just like, there's not a shred of evidence to say that that is even true, let alone the fact that they are into, well, and you guys saw the video I made about the wedding dress, right? Two things I want you to take from that. Number one, Megan paid for her own flipping dress. And number two, they referred to her as a producer. They referred to her as a producer. The actress turned producer, or whatever they said, they referred to her as a producer. So that is the title. Even though I love saying Princess Megan, just because you know it rubs certain people the wrong way, but they're producers. They are producers. When Harry was on The Me You Can't See, he was titled His Royal Highness Prince Harry, executive producer. I threw the Royal Highness in there. But that is the hats that they're wearing right now. Not actor, not Prince of the Realm, producers, period. So, hate watchers, listeners, derangers, why don't you have that for supper? Why don't you stick that in your pipe and smoke it? Joyce Voss says, Harry's speaking presentation was always better than Kate's. Amen to that. When he spoke at Nelson Mandela Day in the UN last year, I felt then this his speaking presentation was exceptional. Amen, amen, amen. You get nothing but agreement from me there. Even on his worst day, he's better than his brother and his sister-in-law. Even on his worst day. Are they now going to say Harry having the pat? Well, Joyce, give them a minute. Give them a minute. They will. They're going to say that Harry, and we never know when the photos were taken. That's the thing. We never know when the photos were taken. We only know what they tell us. We only know how it is presented to us and when they present it to us. We never know when the photos were taken. And they have the opportunity to introduce the photos at a time and a place when it satisfies them, when it pushes the narrative that they are trying to perpetuate. And that's the long and the short of it. Harry and Meghan doesn't have any say over the timing of it. They only, have to, I guess, deal with it. And since they don't respond, they have nothing to do but try to ignore it and keep on keeping on. That's all they have to give in return, and of course, trying to avoid them. So there you go. Let me take that away. Okay. All right, so let me go to the next slide. And there's and you know what? The reason why I put this up is because I was meaning to discuss this photo on the left, but I just haven't got around to it yet. But I'll do that right now. Annie Bullard says, Baron, the tabloids are creating their own news. Real people aren't paying them any attention, only the deranged folks. Yeah, and of course, there's a great deal of skepticism in the U.S. when it comes to the tabloids. Um, I don't live in the UK, but from the experience that I've had, it seems as though a lot of older people in the UK assume that the tabloids is mainstream news. We have our legacy newspapers and television news and such, and we have kind of grown up assuming that if it comes from the Star, the Globe, or the Inquirer, or the Examiner, then it is not to be believed. That being said, sometimes they do get it right. I mean, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Um, and so when you see a picture of a celebrity that is advanced in age, has not been seen in a while, and they'll say so and so's last brave days. Well, that person is either going to go tonight, tomorrow, or 2 years from now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's their last days. Um, so, yeah, sometimes they get that right. But a lot of times it is just a bunch of nonsense and speculation about stuff they know nothing of. Um, like this person's relationships is on the rocks. And we need look no further than poor Sandra Bullock um, and her partner that died. And of course, nobody knew how ill he was. But remember, what paper was it that said that they had broken up, that there was cheating, and that they had broke up? When the truth is, Sandra Bullock was helping him um, go to his glory with as much dignity as possible. So, yeah, it's not illegal for them to do that, and that's unfortunate, but it's definitely immoral. Thank you so much for your comment. Okay. And oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say what I needed to say. Okay. So the photo on the left side, you all may have heard that on a very slow news day, um, all of the tabloids decided to hitch their wagons to the story about how Harry looks strange in that photo, and how does his hair look like this or like that. One thing that I've learned from Naomi Campbell, among other people, when you pose for a photo, there usually isn't much input that you have on the photo that is used for the magazine cover. Their job is to sell papers. So you'll notice that when they tried to make William look dignified, what did they do? They put a hat on his head and had him looking like the captain in Tennille, to try to make him look bold and distinguished. They didn't want to celebrate him with his hat off, they celebrated him with his hat on. So, with this story in People magazine, they decided that they would do an article about Spare. And they wanted a cover that was going to project to the consumer. And so they darkened his hair, number one. And that's why I hate when people get into these things about, oh, they made so and so look darker, they made so and so look lighter. There is several reasons why a person may appear one way or the other in a photo. And then sometimes they actually, I've lightened and darkened photos of myself so that I can look as flattering as possible, and so that I can actually, if the lighting is bad, I want you to see the shape of my face, my eyes, or whatever. So I hate when people do that. Um, it a lot of times is very unfair. They accuse people of being racist when it's just a matter of maybe that person has a tan today. Maybe that person was in lighting that was poor that day. Or maybe someone wanted them to be lighter or darker. But usually the person that they're punishing had nothing to do with it. And so the same with this photo here. Harry has hair up there. It's very thin. And he even said himself, I'm doomed. I'm losing my hair. But the thing is, certain lighting, the angle of his head, or whatever will make his hair look fuller. And then other times it'll look thinner. And so they didn't do anything with the photo on the right side, even though it was from the same photo shoot. You see what I'm saying? So they darkened the one on the left to, I guess, to give it the proper projection with the caption that surrounds it and everything. And then the one on the right side is much lighter. Well, which one is the real Harry? Well, I'm going to say the one on the right, except for that one looks very pale. And again, I think that they made it very pale. I think that the photo on the left is closer to his actual Southern California complexion compared to the one on the right. But either way, who give a rat's behind? He had nothing to do with it, but they needed something to talk about. I was more curious why they went to an old photo. I was very curious about that. And you know what I think happened? I think that was something that started with a deranger. They were probably on the social media and they were probably rooting through all of the social media pages looking for something to talk about. And they came across this photo that is from January. He probably took the photos in December. And they took that photo and decided to make a federal case out of the texture or darkness or thickness of his hair. It is August, and they're talking about something from February, or no, I'm sorry, probably from December, and then it was published in January. Well, actually, it probably was published in December for January. You see what I'm saying? They just make up stuff. They just make up stuff. Why didn't they say anything about it at the time? I'm just like, they were so panic stricken about the book that they couldn't even notice his hair. Either way, Harry is a good looking guy. And he's not a pretty boy or anything like that. He's not a runway model. He's never been one, but he's handsome and he projects confidence. And increasingly, he projects joy. He has a good life in California. He's away from Narnia. He's away from the firm. That look that he has right there, that come hither look, that is the joy of his family, of the life that he has. Let's see, most paps in Southern California hang out around famous gems because it is more likely they will get a pic of someone famous. Yeah, that's true. I saw this one paparazzi guy. He was African American, and he, showed how he finds his photos. And so, even though it comes from that particular agency that is so disturbing to me, it doesn't mean that it was one of the more sinister paps, because some of them literally hate the Sussexes, as we found out. And then some of them, for them, they have a job to do, and that's that. And still, they're a lot better off in Southern California than they would be a lot of places in this world when it comes to their safety and their privacy and such. So, they're good photos. They're not causing embarrassment or anything like that. And I feel a certain anxiety when it's photos of Meghan because of all that she's been through. But with Harry, maybe I'm just being a bit sexist toward him, but I don't feel as violated on his behalf because I know that when he's by himself, he's more relaxed than he is with his family, because when he's with his family, that's when he's in protection mode, and it's difficult for him to relax and enjoy himself as much as when he's by himself or with friends or whatever. So I mean, like when he was with Nacho, all of that, especially considering Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, it was so much easier. And then we don't know whether Japan, we don't know anything about how security was there. So I'm assuming that the Japanese went out of their way to make sure that he was safe, and so there was no incidents there. There was no paparazzi or anything like that. Just the photos from the airport and what Nacho posted. So good on them. Let me see. Ulibi says, Baron, I bet you the people focusing on Harry's look are very attractive, are not very attractive, rather, and have self-esteem issues. This is lunatic. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Well, we've seen the royal rodents, and we can see that they all look like they grew up too close to high voltage wires or a nuclear power plant or or some old uranium mine or something. They all seem to have that look. They all seem to have that look like they love to go and smell the fumes coming off of a diesel engine block. Miss S says, by the way, thank you. Harry should visit, what is it, hair plugs for men? Uh, can imagine Megan walking around with, well, Miss S, uh, Harry has accepted his situation, and if he chooses to do something, but they live in the public eye, and so whatever he does would be a matter of so much scrutiny that it wouldn't be worth it. So um, he would never be able to discreetly do something like that without a bunch of speculation and innuendo. So whether he does something or nothing, at least he knows that we're in his corner. Let me see. Oh, Black Queen. Let me see here. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being a moderator and for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. So anyway, that was all I had to say about that photo. Is that um, I think the weirdest thing about the recent like 24-hour news cycle where they spoke about it is what took so long, because the photo has been there for a while. So that was very, very strange. Okay, so this is rather disturbing, but a school teacher is accused of attacking a member of the royal family. Primary school teacher sacked after she was caught on film punching and kicking her horse, has a new job, and says she is keen to get her life back on track after she was found not guilty of animal cruelty. So, yeah, it is rather disturbing, and I'm surprised this story didn't get as much coverage. I mean, it's not every day that a primary school teacher haul off and get to whacking and kicking and assaulting a member of the royal family. And well, this might explain why we haven't seen um, the consort in a. This will explain why we haven't seen the consort in a while, but You would think that they would have made more out of this story, but apparently they have downplayed it. So I'm just really surprised because usually I would expect that particular family member would have more of a kick. You know, I would have expected that family member to kick back. I mean, that family member's kick could decapitate a woolly mammoth. So I'm shocked. I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying? It's just that particular family member, when you run up on them, you really got to know what you're doing. You really have to have confidence before you come for them, because they look like they could just uh, rip your head off and use it for a bowling ball or something. So yeah, I was surprised. But that being said, I'm sure that that particular royal is back up on all four of their feet and able to take care of their royal duty. And that's for the school teacher. She has been found not guilty, and I don't, and I can understand because there are some members of the royal family that could really provoke you to do weird things. I've even seen a child come for his I've even seen a child go after his mom. So the royal family has much to atone for. And until they do, I suppose they could expect situations like this to happen. So, anyway, I don't condone violence, of course, and I'm very disappointed with this school teacher, but you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Um, Oh man. Okay, so King Charles to axe 1 in 5 middle managers because too many are doing similar jobs. Well, well, well. If it isn't a reaction to the 45% pay increase, King Charles to receive a huge pay rise from UK taxpayers. I'm surprised it took this long, but I guess timing is everything. So rather than react quickly, Charles decided to wait a little bit and then come out with this news release or brief or whatever that he is going to eliminate 1 in 5 of the middle managers. It reminds me of the story of the guy who had a run in with Backstairs Billy. He said that it was somewhat surreal working for the royal family. And he even said that when he had first took the job, that he noticed that there was some elderly pensioner walking toward him with a walking frame, which I believe that's how they say walker. For us in the US, we call it a walker, but I think they call it a walking frame in the UK. So he sees her coming down the hallway and he thought it was a tourist. And he's like, Mom, are you lost? Oh no, she's like trying to explain to him that she works there. And he was like, You're kidding. And she said, Yeah, I work here. And then she produced a rag or a feather duster or whatever and began wiping some furniture in the hallway, in the corridor. And it turns out it was one of the members of staff that had been there since William the Conqueror. And, they do tend to hold on to people like that. But if it wasn't for that 45% increase, I guarantee you that they wouldn't even dream of losing one middle manager. Charles loves having people around him to, I guess, stand in the corner and look down at their toes every time he comes through, or show deference in some other way. So I can't believe that that's a thing. But and of course, this is just an announcement. There may actually be a series of people due for retirement that are just going to retire sooner rather than later, as opposed to them actually getting rid of someone. The Queen used to say, I have to be seen to be believed. I'm going to say that in order to make sense out of having a portfolio of 12, 20, 30 properties, the only way to make sense out of that is to have them fully staffed and, of course, occupied by servants. So I just don't believe it. Just like they were supposed to do something about the lack of diversity in the royal households in terms of staff. And of course, that hasn't changed either. They just make up numbers the way they always do. So I don't give this much attention, because I don't think it's going to amount to anything. So much to do about nothing. Now let's go to Suits. Let's go to Suits again. Suits is still climbing and climbing and climbing. So it says here, how Suits beat Wednesday and may become the most popular show ever on Netflix. Suits has surpassed Wednesday's 6 week streaming record on Netflix, potentially becoming the most popular show on the streaming platform ever. Suits' success can be attributed to its 8 seasons of content, broader appeal, strong cast, and interesting cases, making it approachable for viewers with limited knowledge of the legal system. Suits has the potential to overtake Stranger Things as Netflix's most popular show, as it has been steadily breaking records every week and shows no signs of losing momentum. So just like the Sussexes, it's got the big mo. Let's see, Baron, please play Rottweiler, Horse, Silky Chicken. Oh, okay. Yes, for the benefit of some of the newer people, that's a good idea. And thank you for the recommendation. Yes, why don't we do that? I'll take this away for the time being. And it has been a while, hasn't it? Let me see here. No, let me try the other way. I love it. Okay, let me see. Which one do I want to do? Oh, yeah. That was the video. Camilla will never forgive Harry and Meghan. Okay. Was this it? This. I am forwarding to. Right there. Now, again, this is in no way reflecting our best life in sunny California. Now, this is in no way reflecting anything from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. Oh man, I have to tell you guys, when I was putting that together, I was literally in tears. The other time that I wept as I was making the video, of course, that was Camilla's garden. I was literally soaking the keyboard with tears as I was making Camilla's garden. Um, we've had some fun at that diabolical person's expense. And I have to tell you, it is a labor of love. So thank you for the suggestion. We'll have to bring the island lady up later. Don't let me forget. Okay, so oh yeah, and so again, if you guys haven't watched Suits, remember it is based on a fictitious New York law firm. Even though it was filmed in Toronto, in the background there, you can see the skyline of New York City. And right here it says the legal drama made the charts for 4 consecutive weeks. So this was 2 weeks ago, obviously, this summer, and it returns to the top 10. And its return to the top 10 demonstrates its lasting attraction among audience since Netflix added the series in June. Netflix has found a way, found a new audience for the series by tapping its recommendation engines to reach viewers of the Harry and Meghan documentary. In other words, you guys are the ones that brought Suits to Netflix, as well as leaning into popular drama and crime genres as the writers and actors strikes continue to slow down TV and film production. Leaning on discovery tools to expose audiences to older series is a smart playbook we can expect to see other streamers pick up. So, because of Harry and Meghan's docuseries, if you take a look at this graph here, and by the way, thank you to the squatty who made sure that this was posted, you can see there, their 60 Minutes interview got ratings. So did their interview with Oprah last year. Their Netflix show, meanwhile, netted 21.1 million hours in its first week and 28.2 million in its second. Still good for the eighth highest debut on Netflix through 2 weeks. Here's how well it did in viewership per episode since Netflix is releasing 3 episodes at a time. So when you look at how the docuseries compared the top debut season by viewership per episode week 1, well, look at where Harry and Meghan is. They are in the 8th place right there. Yeah, they're in the 8th place. And that is downwind from shows like Wednesday. God, I can barely see that. Loki, the Ring of Power or something like that. Something. And so on and so on. Hawkeyes and Moon Knight or something. Yeah, so is it Moonlight? No, it says Moon Knight. So yeah, with all of the other series, that is where Harry and Meghan rated when it comes to, I believe it says, top debut season by viewership per episode week 1. And that was in March of 2020 to present. So since March of 2020, if you measure how the particular shows or series or whatever has premiered in the first week, as you can see, Harry and Meghan were in the 8th place. And you guys, this is so encouraging because I would say that Netflix is the main thing that the Sussexes have been able to rely upon to get their message out, to tell their side of the story, and also to help uh, stabilize their financial future. And it's been a win-win for both because the Sussex's presence at Netflix also helped to sell people on the crown. Even though so many people said that they were going to get rid of their Netflix, most of them did not. And a lot of people got new accounts because of the crown. A lot of people kept their accounts, squatties, of course, because of the Sussexes. There's a lot of squatties who didn't even have a subscription. And there are a lot of us, and there are people that are not squatties that, on principle, decided that they would invest their time and money in Netflix. And just think how many people are going to subscribe because of the eye of, well, not the eye, but the, what is it? Invictus. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot the title. Is it the voice of Invictus? No, you know what I mean. Um, how embarrassing. But anyway, the Invictus series that's coming up, there's going to be a lot of people that will subscribe for that reason. So it has been a two-way street. It has been beneficial to Netflix. Heart of Invictus. Thank you, Diane Hawkins. Heart of Invictus. What did I say? The Eye of Invictus? Oh boy, some of the fumes off of Church Nelly steel is floating all the way through the country. Um, Somehow it's made it to the Midwest. I blame you, Church Nelly. I'm still gonna blame you. It's a vapors off of your steel that's getting me. So I'm gonna blame you. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a win-win. So thank goodness. It's all because God will do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And when they refuse to accept the half in, half out, God said, I have another plan for you. Don't worry about it. I have another plan. And what happened? Everything happened. That's what happened. They found a house that wouldn't sell, a perfectly good house that couldn't sell. And you all know that people were buying up property like crazy during the pandemic. And for some reason, the Sussexes managed to find a an Italian villa that could not sell in one of the best zip codes in the world, postal codes in the world. And they managed to get it for what? Half price, a third of the price, half price. And of course, that note from Tyler Perry, that note, like an insurance policy, Megan held on to that note. And when she needed him, he was there. And it just goes on and on. None of this is by accident. It is by design. It is of a level that is so spiritual that you just couldn't make it up if you wanted to. You could not make it up. So everything happens for a reason. And that is why when the Sussexes had that incident in New York, it seemed like a terrible setback. And they were hoping that they were going to push them over the edge. But when you have found your grace, there's nothing anybody could do to you. When you find your grace, you are invincible. Nothing is going to rock that foundation when you have truly found your grace. And they have found their grace. They have found their voices, and there's nothing that's going to turn that around. So, just like the Sussex Squad is not an accident. You know, this is not the 1980s and the 1990s where a young woman marries into a tyrannical tribe of a family and has no one to turn to. So as much as people are bothered by the reach of social media, it ain't all bad. Social media also helps a lot of people. It's just like having a telephone. There was a time when people thought the telephone was an agent of the devil, but the telephone has saved lives. Television, every technology, people knock it, but at the same time, it it does have a way of improving things, just as it can also disrupt life. It also can improve life. So thanks to social media, they have some form of protection. People that they don't know, they'll never meet, and we're certainly not on their payroll, but we're here and we matter. We are a force to be reckoned with. So, no accidents there. They have found their voice, they've found their grace, and everything is coming together. That's why I'm not worried about the whale child. I'm certainly not worried about the Invictus games. Um, and as weird as it seems to say this, even when they were stuck over there in the UK after the Queen died, the timing of that may have been exactly what it was supposed to be. It may have been exactly what it was supposed to be. We could know, we don't know, we can't say for sure. I can't say for sure anyway, but maybe it was just what it was supposed to be. And it has come and it has gone, and they are stronger for it, and life goes on. So I hope it's just as it appears to be. So again, the Suits is trending toward the number one all time streaming for Netflix, or any service for that matter. Netflix is still the biggest streamer, and Netflix has been so successful that a lot of other streamers have popped up overnight. Disney, Paramount, they all want to take their content away from Netflix. And to show you how brilliant they are at Nextsmith, at Netflix, when they realize that they could possibly lose some of their best shows, they created original content. And that's where the Sussexes come in. That's where a lot of people come in. Tyler Perry creates original content for what is it, Amazon Prime, and he's done content for Netflix, right? So it's not as though Netflix is losing. They had a big rise of subscriptions during the pandemic. Well, the pandemic, anything that kept people in their pajamas all day made money. Now the pandemic has, subsided somewhat, and and Netflix is still in a very strong position. It's good to be number one. They are the Apple of streamers. They are the Tesla of streamers. They're at the top of the food game, and they're going to stay there for a long time, especially if my subscription has anything to do with it. So uninterrupted subscription for like 12 years, I think. And of course, thanks to Harry and Meghan, I ain't going nowhere. Now, there is a rumor. If you know, you know. I just don't want to start no stuff, but there is a rumor. And if you know, you know. They're talking about a big thing coming up for Meghan. And I hope it's true. I hope it's true because, as you can see, there's a lot of people that makes a lot of money from Rachel, Meghan Markle. And I want compensation for all of the nonsense that they have put her through since day one. So if that rumor is true. If it's true, of course, we won't know because we don't know anything if we don't hear from them first, because there are no leaks in Montecito. But just as they were going on about Harry's hair, this might be another one of those situations. But I hope it's not. I hope it is true, and I hope that cash registers are heard ringing all over Montecito, because it's what she deserves. Anybody who has been subjected to the amount of lies, of vicious lies that she has encountered, deserves whatever breaks they can get. So, Reba Henderson says Baron Misty Blue had an episode about Sussex Squad worrying the firm and UK media. They cannot attack Harry and Meghan in peace anymore because of Sussex Squad. She showed screenshots of them discuss. Really? Really? Oh, I'm all over that like a cheap suit. I got to go find that. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with you guys. Misty Blue doesn't pull any punches, okay? Misty Blue doesn't pull any punches, and I love her for that. Thank you so much for telling me. I'm going to have to go and find that one. Beverly says, Suits is just a really good show. Didn't it see the first time around? Didn't see it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, me. Didn't see it the first time around, but have been looking at 2 to 3 shows a night. But with Sussex Squad coming on late, I'm sorry, Royal Sussex coming on late. Obviously, it's late for me too. It's hard to finish season 5. Yeah. Well, good luck with that. We're going to come on early again one of these days. You'll see. You're disappointed by that? You know, I said, Vangie Lynn, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, Tyler Perry shouldn't pay too much for something. There is so much competition on cable. There's so much competition with the streaming, with the podcasts. Everybody is scrambling, trying to find something profitable. Now, BET was huge back in the day, but now there's other entities in the media that has been competing with them. And it's just like anything else that is profitable and, of course, is owned by Black people. Like, for instance, Fashion Fair. Well, we discussed this already. A lot of the Black hair care products and makeup companies have been purchased by European firms like Revlon and all that. And if Tyler Perry decides to buy back something that was created by a Black entrepreneur or business person, I certainly don't want him to pay too much for it. So it would be nice. I think Tyler Perry would probably do some incredible things with BET, but I don't want him to pay too much for it. It would be great. But if he pays too much for it, more than what it's worth, especially with all the competition it is out there, like legacy television is not what it used to be. They don't pay the salaries that they used to pay. And if you've looked at some of the local news lately, have you guys noticed that some people, I'm not going to say unattractive, but unconventional for that industry, there are people on television that I swear I would have never suspected would have made it in television. Not to say that they shouldn't have, but the look of television has changed. I have seen hairstyles, facial hair, tattoos. Television is dying a slow death. And so I was actually very nervous for Tyler Perry when he wanted to buy it. It's okay if he can get it at a good price, but please don't be disappointed if he wasn't able to get the price that he offered, because he knows what he can afford. And he has made brilliant moves all the way. So if he didn't get it, there was a good reason for it. But thank you so much for your comment. Tyler Perry will not be buying BET or VH1. Paramount backed out of the deal. I guess they didn't want to sell to a black man, any black people, in my opinion. Yeah, you know, just like they used to do with real estate, they would come up with these stories to scare people into selling their homes because a black family just moved into the neighborhood. And so they would buy the homes from the white family and pay less than what the house is worth. And then they would sell it to the black family, sometimes for twice as much as what the house was really worth. So that may be the very thing that happened with the BET. If you want this network, black man, you are going to pay too much for it, and it won't be worth your time to pay for it, because you're going to be so broke by the time you're through paying for this. So I'm glad he backed out of it. I really am. I would rather Tyler Perry be in a stable financial position than to put his neck out there for something that is not worth the price. No, they get black people too many times like that, and I just don't want that to happen to him. So he was wise to pull out of the deal. And if it's really meant to be, he'll get it. And if he doesn't get that one, he'll get something else. Oprah learned a hard lesson when she started the OWN network. There were people who came after her because there she was getting above herself. It's okay for you to have this and have that, but we're not going to let you have a network. You guys remember that? They went after Oprah. They really, really went after her. And they gave her all kind of bad press and everything to try to sink that ship before it even left the port. And fortunately, Tyler Perry helped her save or salvage her network. But then again, Oprah finally got out of it because it became like a big money pit. So you got to know, you got to really know when it's time to back off from a deal, because they don't mind you paying too much for it. And that may be part of the plan, is to have you pay more than what it's worth, just so that we can watch you, fall down. Diane Hawkins says, you mean, Baron, we might be getting 116 more bathrooms down in Montecito land. We've already joined the Billionaires Row. What's next? You know what? You get a bell for that. Absolutely right, Diane Hawkins. That's the big rumor, is that there might be something coming down the pike. Maybe, maybe not. I hope it is. We know that there's going to be something. It may not be what they think it is. It may not be the way they think it is. It may be nothing at all. But I'm just saying, in a very obscure and vague, ambiguous way, I hope that there is some truth to it, and I hope that it is the mother of all paydays, because Harry and Meghan have been making so much money for other people. Even as I pointed out earlier, the ad that they have on Twitter for the Telegraph is worded in a way that you don't know what it means. You can't just glance at it and know what it means. They designed it to be that way so that you will click on the link and open it up and try to figure out How is Harry and Meghan going to go through some downward spiral because they got something wrong in Hollywood? You know, Hollywood is a trigger word for certain people. People see Hollywood and see Sussex and assume that everyone in Hollywood has turned their back on them. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? And Harry and Meghan, just talking about them is $1 billion industry. So why would they do that? Nobody turns away from that. Not anybody with good sense. You know, when they say that this actor or that actor was a terrible person to work with, and they delayed filming, and but you know what? They will take that risk if they believe that they can make money from using your likeness, your appearance, your words. If they can make some money, they'll make a deal. They'll work with you. So if they will do that for someone you can't depend on, who would do that for two of the most um, famous people in the world? Who would do that? Not anybody in Hollywood. If you can make money, they want to be with you. So that whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. Thank you so much for that, Diana Hawkins. So Bob Barker passed away at age 99. Come on down. All of this can be yours if the price is right. Well, Bob Barker had a great life, hasn't he? And Bob Barker was very much against animal cruelty, as he would often say, to make sure that you have your pet spayed or neutered, which is why I believe he felt it was okay to take his rest now that this menace to the royal family has been dealt with, has been exposed. Now that this person has been found not guilty in a court of law, at least we know who we're dealing with. It's important to point out that she has been found not guilty. And it's also important to point out that the member of the royal family that I believe has been attacked seems to be no worse for wear. And that's due in part to Bob Barker and his lifelong commitment to animal rights. So thank you for that, Bob Barker. One thing that I wanted to ask you guys was, why did Bob Barker always use that weird looking long skinny microphone? That was so weird, don't you think? I mean, I've seen microphones before, but nobody had those long skinny microphones like Bob Barker. Like he was trying to send a signal or something. I just thought it was rather strange. You know how my mind wanders and I start seeing stuff that other people don't notice. But that microphone thing, I thought that was a little risque. Um, I'm sure it's nothing. Maybe that's just in case there's a tall person that he needs to get a response from or something like that. But yeah, that microphone was so odd. Let me see. Carla Johnson, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. How did I miss that? Probably because I'm not scrolling enough here. And does my eyes deceive me? Connie Balmer! Connie Balmer is here. Hey, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for the super sticker. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex, no less. So that was a nice surprise. I was like, Connie Balmer's on here? Very nice surprise. So yeah, if you guys can help me out with that. I was curious about the microphone. It just seemed rather I'm not saying it was burlesque or something, but I just thought it was odd. The other thing that's interesting is um, Bob Barker, animal rights, huh? Huh? Or how about Chuck Woolery? Do you have to have a name that sounds like a cry from an animal to do game shows? Chuck Woolery, like nah, I don't know. I'm just being silly right now. But Chuck Woolery, Bob Barker, are there any more of them with those weird names? But yeah, rest in peace, Bob Barker. All of us have at one time or the other watched The Price is Right, and it was a great show. And the guy had a good life, and being against animal cruelty is very valid. We should, the way you treat animals is almost like a window to the way people treat one another, as we have found from some of the psychopaths that have been exposed. It always starts off with cruelty to animals. So there you go. Now, speaking of cruelty, Misan Harriman says, I cannot believe what I'm reading. The disgrace is complete for the Spanish FA, Football Association. I hope the whole Spanish men's league strikes in solidarity. And it was because of that tweet there that says the Spanish Football Federation announced that instead of removing President Luis Robales, they will take legal action against player Jenny Hermoso, as they claim she lied about the non-consensual kiss. The federation also says players have an obligation to play for the national team after 81 female players said they would not play until Robales is removed in solidarity for Jenny Hermosa. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? It's 2023. How could that happen? Deirdre Meinke, thank you so much for the membership. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy. I love when I see new memberships. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. And then it says World Cup winner says she did not consent to kiss after Spanish soccer boss Luis Robales refused to resign. So not only did he refuse to resign, but it appears as though the Good Old Boys Network has decided to go after her. They are going to challenge the victim. So Jennifer Hermosa is a star player of Spain's women's soccer team, which won the first World Cup in history. Won its first World Cup in history. It's disgraceful. It really is. Oh, good night, Elaine Parker. Thank you for staying up with us. Let me see. Yalivi says, Baron, the concept of machismo comes from Spain. I am not surprised at all. Yeah, I think in sociology class, I learned about the idea of machismo. And then of course, that type of behavior exists in some level in just about every culture. There's some culture of machismo, but that is the usual word that we use in the English language, I guess, to try to make it seem like it's not a part of life in other places or, closer to home. But yeah, the idea of it is that you should be glad. You should be glad that happened. And how dare you complain? How dare you refuse or refute? But again, it is 2023. And just as I was saying that William did a disservice by not showing up for the girls' team as he would have for the boys' team under any other circumstance. Um, if women are going to entertain, excite, and motivate the masses in competitive sports, it is important that they get equal billing to men. And of course, when I say equal billing, I mean just that when the public interest is a factor, then you can't just dismiss it like it's some kind of little league baseball team. The women inspired nations all over the world. In particular, for the World Cup, they inspired the United Kingdom, they inspired Spain. They were the standard bearers for their countries. And people showed so much support that it was front page news day after day. And so, with that, in order to solidify the idea that women's competitive sports is right on par, if not equal, to men in sports, it's important that everybody in the official capacity show up. And William not showing up, I think, is just as offensive as so many other things that still happen to women in competitive sports. It's not fair to the women. If they are providing family entertainment, if they motivate and inspire, if they create a sense of nationalism, can you put a price tag on that? No, but you could at least compensate them and support them like you would do the men's team. It hasn't been that long that women's competitive sports have actually really captured the national consciousness, but it's here now. And by them going after her, by them taking legal action against her, this sets everything back. This sets everything back. So I hope and I pray that they will fight for their day in court, that the people that have offered to resign or have resigned, that they say what they mean and mean what they say. I hope more people follow suit, because if they don't, and I'm really surprised with all of the resignations, why in the world would they announce that they are going after her? Why would they announce that? It seems like that should have happened days ago. Well, it shouldn't have happened at all. But if that's what you know what I'm saying? I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. The timing is confusing. You wait until the story is so much bigger, and then you announce that you're going after her? Wow, that's interesting. I'd like to see how that was going to work out. Oh man, this is, and also it's just like when England lost and they blamed the black guys, the three black gentlemen, they blamed them for England's loss. There was all type of racist comments and stuff. And of course, William said, "Oh, I'm not going to tolerate this. Oh, I'm not going to stand for this type of racism," right? Of course, he couldn't say that for his sister-in-law, but he's saying it for men, right? Which is not surprising. Men, 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 manly, men, men, men. I'm not surprised that William was standing up for the men. He always seems to find his way to help the men. But for the women, he seems to be just as misogynist as the next person in the way that he treats his wife, in the way that he responds to the women in competitive sports, in particular, the football players, which he is the president of the Football Association. They should give that position to someone who is actually going to help grow the sport, not someone who is going to go along to get along, someone who's going to be a part of the good old boy network. This is awful. This is really awful. And maybe it's designed. And I was just thinking just now how odd the timing is to announce that you're going after her. Maybe they're trying to discourage other people from coming forward. Now, this may be a bit triggering, but I have to say this because, oh, Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Now, I'm not going to show the video. I'm not going to show the photo. But at some point during the game, you would have thought that you were watching a Michael Jackson music video. That man grabbed his midsection during one of the plays or whatever it was, standing right next to the Queen and even closer to the Queen's daughter, the royal princess. There's something wrong with him. There is something wrong with him. I know it's hot in Spain. I know they're having an unusual, well, it's usually hot in Spain in the summertime, but there's something wrong with that man. In front of a whole crowd of people, he's cheering and shouting, and then he grabs his middle part. He grabs his fun parts while he's cheering. And when I saw that, I was just like, that's different. That's interesting. Now, was that a gesture to say that, was that like saying up yours or, something you or something? But it was just strange. You're standing right there by the Queen of Spain and the Royal Princess of Spain, and you're grabbing at yourself. And so I'm only saying that to say this. She said that this was not okay, right? And this is only, and this happened at the same time that incident of grabbing one's private area happened. So even if for some reason, and I don't know what her private life is like, I don't know if she's, she looks like a very, I'm trying to find the right words, but she looks like a woman who loves a comfortable shoe, right? She looks like she enjoys a comfortable shoe. I don't know her, so I'm just saying she seems like she enjoys wearing a nice Oxford. And if that is the case, then I would be more inclined to believe that kiss was not expected, not welcomed, and downright unsolicited. And so there's that. And even before that happened, that grabbing oneself, that was strange. That was just strange. So I'm just going to say that I'm in. What do you say, why I'm joy? I'm trying to couch this in a way. I'm trying to couch this in a way that makes sense, but yeah, she's not playing on his team exactly. So, and I don't know her, but I'm just saying maybe they're not playing for the same team. Yeah. So anyway, there's that to consider. So just in case you didn't know about the other thing beside the kiss, the part of the game where he decided to adjust himself, to put it politely. And then, of course, considering the close proximity to the Spanish royal household, it seemed rather disrespectful, out of place, and rather odd. Um, yeah. That's it. That's it. So I've said what I've had to say about that. So Dr. Scholler says, not enough to suspend Louis Rebalis. He should be sacked for his and the other stuff. Really? I didn't know that part. Real victim of his and misogynistic, unprofessional conduct for defaming her. Trust the man to make Spanish Women's Cup win about him. Um, yes, and that too that Dr. Scholler said, and that's also the tragedy here is because instead of people talking about their win, now is all about his adjustment and his um, unsolicited affection. So as you can see, FIFA suspends Spanish soccer chief Louis Rebalis amid row over kiss with Women's World Cup winner. And Louis Rebalis Spanish Football Federation will take legal action over Jennifer Hermoso's lie. I mean, they're calling her a liar. Take legal action over her lies. Wow. Wow. And this would not have happened if it was the men. So, you know, I'm like, you know, I believe that if you can create an audience, then you deserve to be compensated for your likeness and image and such being used, right? And the women players, women athletes every year are making the sports world more diverse. And for that reason, they should be treated equally by the management, by the associations of whatever stripe. They should be treated equal by them, right? I'm not saying, oh, throw the boys and the girls on the same team, not that kind of thing. But I'm saying if your position as football president is to support the men and the women's team, not the men's and sometimes the women's, but to support them equally. If you don't show up, then you are sending the message that the women's sports is not as important. But they risk the same injuries. They bring crowds increasingly bigger every year, and on some occasions bigger than the men's crowd. And since that is the case, listen to them when they bring up complaints about these situations. Also support them in your capacity as management or representation or president of associations, whatever it would be. Support them. And then lastly, pay them. Pay them for what they're doing. Pay them equally for what they're doing because they are bringing in a lot of ad revenue. And for that, they deserve to be compensated. That really just bothers me because of those reasons. That guy did what he did because he felt he can get away with it. It was almost unconscious what he did. And then also, William decided that he could get away with not showing up. And then on top of that, now we're blaming the victim. Now we're doubting the victim. Let me see. Connie says, in deep hot weather, some weird man from certain countries go berserk, evil. Yeah, yeah. I looked at it. I looked at the video again, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm just like, what a jerk. And I can't believe that there are some people that are taking his side. Whatever a relationship is between a man and a woman, a woman and a woman, a man and a man in their household, fine. That's their affair. But they're not in a household. It is sports, it's competitive sports. And they have ignited excitement in two countries in particular, and the whole football world overall. And for this to be the talking points, for this to be the subject when it comes to the the football, it's outrageous. It's really disgraceful that is what people are talking about. We should still be congratulating them for their victory more than talking about this. But because they didn't take decisive action against this coach from the very beginning, they have let it fester until the point it has turned into a big, hot, steaming bowl of manure. Yeah, that is really too bad. And again, where's William? Does William have an opinion about this? Isn't he the president of the Football Association? I mean, I know it's just for his country, right? But he still represents the sport. He has nothing to say. It's not being political, it's just being supportive. So, yeah, there you go. All right. Reba Henderson says, I love Dr. Shola. She said it exactly right. His right there is on film, and he should apologize for his behavior. He should have stumped. She should have stumped. Somehow, Reba, I think he might have been okay with that. Somehow, I think he would have been okay with that. He looks like he's okay with a lot of stuff. I think he might have been okay with that. There's people out there that's okay with a lot of stuff that seems bizarre and harmful, but you know, yet they're into it. So, and even if he's not, make it happen. Oh man, so that was quite a bit to stammer through, but oh, okay, okay. My face is hot. I was just like, how do I approach this? But yeah, I am bothered by it, and I hope that people are listening and paying attention, and that they will make certain demands for the women in competitive sports, and especially for the Spanish team. Let's see, Diane Baptiste, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And speaking of support, one of my favorite people in all of squattydom is Peace. You guys remember Peace, right? Peace just ran a half marathon, I think it was, to support. I think she did it for Well Child, right? Or was it some other charity? But anyway, so this is Team UK. This is Team Great Britain, Team UK. I think there's 63 people on the team. And so Peace says, oh, let me do this so I can see it clearly. Peace says, a message from all the bitter and twisted, a message for all the bitter and twisted people out there. The Invictus Games has nothing to do with your royal family. Why can't you just put your hate on hold for a few weeks and support your brave British veterans who are excited and looking forward to representing their country at the Invictus Games? Find out who the British veterans are, reach out to them, encourage and send them love and your best wishes. The Invictus Game is an international community of brave veterans coming together to lovingly compete with each other, and many more countries are now eager to sign up. Mr. and Mrs. Invictus are fully committed and involved in the Invictus Games. Mrs. Invictus will be making a speech in Dusseldorf because she can. I know her beauty and eloquence drives you insane, but we love her, and you can hate her for the rest of your sorry lives, but she is not going to hide away to make you feel better about yourself, so deal with it. Prince Harry and Meghan take their patronages seriously, and they will travel across the globe to support them. The power couple have proved over and over again service is universal and love always wins. So that comes from Peace, who you can see there. That's the lady, the taller lady standing there with Prince Harry at the Hague Invictus Games. And she said what she said. And I think it's just right on the mark. It's perfect, spot on, as they say. Um, the Sussexes are living their best lives, and that's a fact. The Sussexes have always, whether they're together or away from each other before they met each other, they have been committed to making the world a better place. Is what that's who they are. That's their identity. It is a big part of their identity. And the derangers have been going after, as they always do, they have been going after people for being happy to go to the Invictus Games. And it's jarring to people who didn't know what they were capable of. Do you all remember the little girl who, let me see, her class did a report or did something to learn about, was it Invictus? It was something to do with Harry and Meghan. And I didn't post the girl's photo from Twitter or the story or anything else because I was afraid that people would go after her school or go after her or go after her family. So I was afraid to share it. But other people were sharing it. And then eventually, Omid Scobie tweeted it. And I said, okay, I'm the last one to do it, but it was just such a sweet story. I did want to share it. But I was afraid to. So if you are a deranger, if you are supposedly supporting Will and Kate, even though your support really never shows up with them, it always comes over here by attacking the Sussexes. If you're proud of going after charities, going after families and children, going after handicapped or disabled veterans, if you're proud of yourself for that, you're a sick individual. Sick. Do you hear me? Sick! You're a sick individual. And I hope you never find peace in this world. But that's what happens. I literally was the last person to share that story because I thought they were going to go after this girl's school. They do stuff like that. They target a charity to try to strike out against the Sussexes. That is a new kind of low. That is a new type of a low to target the charities, including Well Child. It's one thing if you don't like someone, go to my comment section like you always do. But leave the charities alone. Leave the foundations alone. Leave these competitive players who are trying to rebuild their lives to try to take back their power, to recover their self-esteem, whatever it is, to find a reason to live. Leave them alone. Raise some money in the name of Will and Kate. Show up and support them. But leave those innocent people alone. You come after me all you want to, but leave them alone. I couldn't imagine myself going into a space to attack someone involved with a charity or something just because I got it in for this person or that person. And even before the coronation, if you guys remember, I said, you know what? I hope this coronation is everything that they want it to be. If there are people that support this royal family that have been looking forward to a coronation, I recognize that is a once in a lifetime event. And I really did hope that it was what they wanted it to be. I didn't actively campaign against the idea of having a coronation. I've always wanted to see a royal wedding. So what did I do? I went to Windsor. I stood in the crowd. I cheered the Sussexes as they went by in their carriage. That was important to me. And there are people that have always wanted to see a coronation. And I hope it was, I told you I was going to watch, and I did. I didn't pretend otherwise. I was going to watch, even if I had never heard of Harry and Meghan, I was going to watch. I certainly didn't go to any websites or any groups or foundations and target them so that they would feel less likely to want to enjoy themselves that day. Oh man, I mean, I can't believe how horrible some of those people are. I look at some of the stuff on Twitter. I rarely ever respond to them when they come on my Twitter, and rare still do I ever say anything on their Twitter. But more of them come over to us, and if you look at their accounts, you rarely see a squatty there pushing back. It's so rare. Yeah, so all I can say is just wow. It really, really just takes my breath away how cruel some of those people are. And to think that those are librarians, nurses, school teachers, bus drivers. And as Christopher Bosey says, there's a certain demographic that makes up the majority of that nonsense. There's a certain demographic, but they swear it has nothing to do with race. And just like I said yesterday, Harry is usually the one that's dropping the truth bombs. And who do they blame? Meghan. Bill Clinton was president that wanted universal health care, and he asked Hillary to help him out. Hillary and had a deal with Bill Clinton. Yeah, I'll help you be president, but we have to have universal health care. We all celebrate Obama, but Hillary Clinton's life has pretty much been destroyed on occasion because of health care. You think she wanted universal health care so she could hurt people? She's the one that took the hit, not Bill Clinton. And it's the same with for Sussexes. Even when it has nothing to do with Meghan, it's all about Harry and his family, they still go after her. These school teachers and librarians and coffee shop people, they go after Meghan. She's the lightning rod with that African blood. Yeah, that's what it is. If it's not race, what is it? B. Martin says, Mr. and Mrs. Invictus and power couple, love it. Well written speech. Awesome. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. But you guys, you know, I am crazy about peace, and I'm a huge fan of hers. And that all started when I saw Peace. Someone had posted a video from British television where she went to promote donating blood for sickle cell anemia awareness, and she was wearing a Sussex Squad T-shirt on British television. She had a gold T-shirt with black letters. I'll never forget it. A gold T-shirt with black letters, and it says Sussex Squad. And ever since then, I have been like, my heart has been pounding for her because of that. Now that shows courage. That shows leadership. You gotta love her for it. So thank you so much, B. Martin. That is taking the fight to them. That is going into the lion's den. Let's see, Teresa McDougall. Wherever you put whatever you put out into the universe, it will come back to you. Amen to that, Teresa. Thank you so much for the super sticker, a super chat. But yeah, so um, yeah, the deranged don't have any friends. Josephine Wood. They really don't. They really don't. I realized how twisted some of that was when I saw the antique. Remember the antique dealer, the one, and please, you guys, don't say her name, but you know who I'm talking about. That antique dealer, the one that goes to the secondhand stores, the resale shops. Her channel is about, repurposing, rescuing bric-a-brac from a resale shop. And what happened? One day she mentioned Meghan Markle, and the whole direction of her channel changed. She found out that she didn't love knickknacks as much as she loved trying to tear down Meghan. Mary H. says the Invictus is for the veterans and their families, but the creator of Invictus' wife can't be part of the games. These derangers are lunatics. Yeah, and they have their marching orders. They have their instructions. And as you know, some of the royal rodents communicate with those accounts, as we have found out on several occasions. Also, we know that some of the royal rodents, they will shape their articles, their writing, their television appearances are actually shaped by their interactions with derangers. They use the same language. They have the same talking points. Everything is identical. And we know this because the Sussex Squad Detective Agency has actually identified a few of those burner accounts. And the way that happens, in case you guys are not savvy with how Twitter works, when you have a burner account, you can seamlessly go from one account to the other. And sometimes you may actually mean to respond in a negative, nasty way to someone's tweet or someone's post or whatever. And you, as um, let's say, a reporter, a journalist, or whatever you call yourself, a royal expert, you may respond with something nasty toward a another person and not have switched your account. You may not have noticed that the profile picture is not the same. And that is why we have identified Maureen and a few other people. Easy mistake to make. I have a burner account, a couple of them. And still, I don't spend my time going after people. I had to do that because one of these squatties warned me that there was a deranger actively trying to take down my channel. And I went over there, and not only was that person after me, but they were after a few of these Sussex friendly spaces. And they would do screenshots and then send them to journalists, the president of this streaming service and that streaming service. This person literally was doing screenshots and even accused me of being anti-Asian, if you could believe that. Yeah. And at this point, I think I had about 800 or 900 videos in my repertoire. And I guess that was supposed to be the one that was going to take down Royal Sussex. So yeah, it's incredible the way that they are very organized. I'll say that they are very organized, and they have purpose. They work with purpose. They move with purpose to try to go after the Sussex squad. Yeah. So it's not just that they're someone old and friendless and all that. Some of them are working professionals. Just like with the January the 6th, there were people who chartered private jets. They could afford to charter a private jet to go to Washington so that they could storm the Capitol. And then there were people who came in on Greyhound bus, or they drove some old rickety pickup truck to Washington, D.C. So I'm just saying there's a whole cross section of people for just about any cause. So thank you very much, Mary H. Let me see here. Lorna Williams says, Baron, the antique dealer is friends with Kimberly Locke. She was on the singing show with Simon Cowell as a judge. Really? Now, I don't know who she is, though. And was promoting her Christmas album. Kimberly Locke is mixed race. Well, now that doesn't surprise me because, there's a lot of people that you would not expect them to, kind of like the one that went to the what is that? Went on the Good Morning. No, not Good Morning. Went on GB News. Remember that one? The lady from the train. And again, please don't say the name of her channel, but she went over there to do the show with Dan Wooten. They bought her a ticket. She had never been to the United Kingdom before, but she, appearing to be of mixed race herself, spends her entire day going after Meghan because she has found an audience, and she spends her day going after Meghan. So it does not surprise me that there would be someone who has enough self-hate to go after their own people. It's disappointing, but it does not surprise me. Oh, Connie Balmer, not to worry. I won't say publicly why I think that, while I know that everything is going to be okay over there, it is going to be fine. Do not worry. They have that covered. Again, I cannot say publicly, I won't say publicly why I know that that is the wrong place to try to make an issue. Trust me and believe when I say that there's a very good reason why things are going to be so secure that it will be seamless, efficient. People will enjoy themselves, and it is going to be fine. I promise. Yep, I promise. They are not going to accept any nonsense over there, especially if history is any indication. Okay, if you understand that, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. I promise. Okay. Let me. But yeah, I love peace. Peace is awesome. Invictus Games, baby. I don't know who did that. It looks as though it was like it comes from the Invictus, but maybe not. But I'm just looking at the way they have the lettering there. I mean, pretty clever. You know how they do the I, A, and M in gold or yellow. So Invictus Games, baby, that is clever. I'm going to have to remember to use that. Invictus Games, baby. That is very clever. That is very, very clever. I love it. So, yes, and it is that time, you guys. It is growing near, and I'm looking forward to it. I am going to make sure that I am available to grab all of the video that I can share. I'm going to make sure that I grab all the photos that I can share. That is how I make those long videos. It takes a lot of digging, but when you know where to look, you could actually put together something to at least give you scenes that you don't see anyplace else. So, and that is because of the power of social media. And we are going to we're really going to cover that. So yeah, there's some what do you call it? There's plenty content creators that are going to cover it. I will be one of them. And of course, Alicia Kay, she's real good about finding stuff. Who else? Anne, Facts and 2 Cents. Petal, yeah, Petal of Facts and 2 Cents. Anne's Duchess of Success. Yeah, there's going to be some good coverage, and all the rest of the content creators. We are going to be on it. So remember, there is a link for the official Invictus Games channel on YouTube. So if you want to see the opening and closing ceremony, there is a link for that. So make sure you guys are subscribed to that channel. And that way, and don't worry, we're going to remind you. We are going to remind you, but just make sure you're subscribed to that channel and that you put it in your, what do you call it? That you hit the subscribe and the alert button or bell so that you can get the latest from the Invictus channel. So yeah, that's that, you guys. Don't worry. Everything is going to go very, very well. I feel it in the core of my being that this is going to be very, very good. And you know, last time everything went well except the queen died, you know, when she died. And that kind of upset the apple cart. But up until that moment, everything went flawlessly. And it's going to work the same way this year, except, you know, I don't suspect there's anyone that's in that position right now. I certainly hope not. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. But for now, think only good thoughts because it is Sussex season and the Sussexes are going to Sussex. and we will be here to chat it out. Okay? Worry not. Okay, and with that, you guys, I have one last thing to share with you. This is Schoolboys in Harlem, 1930. I love these old photos. I love these old photos. Look at the pride and the dignity of those young men. You know, up until the 1950s, it was unusual for a young man or a young woman to leave the house without their heads covered. Nowadays, of course, is rare, but where people just, bad hair day, baseball cap, bad hair day, bandana. But in those days, the flat hat or the fedora, the whatever, people covered their heads before they left the house or while they were in public. But nowadays, things are different. And, of all people, they actually said that John F. Kennedy hated to wear hats. And because the president of the United States decided to forego his hat, other men followed. And so the habit of wearing a hat kind of went out of fashion. But Harry Truman always wore a hat. Dwight Eisenhower, not so much. But it was really a thing when John F. Kennedy got there. If you look at his old photos, you could count how many times he actually wore a hat. Thank you very much. Lydia Washington has the Invictus Games link. It is at the top of the chat. So please go ahead. We are done for tonight. Go ahead and click on that link, subscribe, make sure that you hit the alert so you can get the latest from the Invictus Games. And remember, we will be here doing the games. I'm not going myself, so I will make sure that I capture as much information as I can share. And then, of course, you know what I do. When it's all over with, I'm going to make a nice long video with everything that I can share without getting in trouble. And so we'll have that. And if you would like to see, if you're new to the Sussex Squad, if you would like to see the videos that I put together from the last Invictus game, maybe we'll show it tonight if I can remember the title. So yeah, I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. It is late. And for those of you that have been on Royal Sussex, you have already seen the video. I'm going to see if I can find it. And if I can find it, I will play it. If not, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just get the link because I'll do the link. I won't play it right now, but I'll grab the link for that video and I will put that here. So if you want to see the Dusseldorf welcomes Harry and Meghan. No, that's not it. I know it's like 18. Yeah, that is it. 18 minutes long. Oh, yeah. So, you know what? This one is from Dusseldorf. I'm thinking Invictus. Invictus last time. Never mind. I will put it in the community tab. I will put it on the community tab tonight. And you can see that long video from the Invictus Games in The Hague. Can't remember the title. Let me try, though. Invictus. Anyway, good night, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Royal Sussex. As always, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And thank you to the members of Royal Sussex and people who have memberships on the Patreon. Patreon is not really an active site, but the fundraising do support Royal Sussex. I just don't do any of those, those videos and stuff over there. The daily upload takes up so much of my time. I don't actually do anything with that one. So if you have a subscription over there and you would like to move over to the your subscription to the YouTube, that's probably a good idea as well. But the choice is yours. Okay. Huh. Okay. Oh, do you guys remember when they were trying to make up that big fuss about the King of the Netherlands not welcoming Harry and Meghan? Do you guys remember that? King Willem Alexander. Do you all remember that? And eventually he did go to the Invictus Games, and him and Harry was sitting up there doing what do you call that? The hokey pokey and all that kind of stuff. That was so funny. They were trying to make this big fuss about Harry being snubbed by the King of the Netherlands. And it was another one of those stories that had absolutely no truth to it. It was just clickbait. And then next thing you know, there is Harry and the King laughing and having a good time together, as they were always going to do in the first place. But leave it to the very negative tabloid media to make a fuss over nothing. Yeah, it was silly. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, actually, I would like to share that one right now if I could find it. I always forget the titles. I suppose I could put them in one file, but that would be so efficient, it would freak me out. So that's why I don't do that. You know, if I do things that are efficient and reasonable, it starts to freak me out. So I get scared. Oh man, let me see if I can find that one. King of the Netherlands. Anyway, you guys, we are done. Good night. Thank you so much. If you want to hang out here, I'm just looking through some videos. I'm not going anywhere just yet. You know, once I start looking for something. Uh, hmm. Let me try this. Willem. Huh. Nope, that's not it either. Of course, if I spelled it right, it would probably make a difference. How you spell Willem? Oh, well. Never mind. So, how many people still here? 1,210 people still here? All right. Well, hang out if you like. Thank you, Angela Simmons. Good night. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Sonia Johnson, just find the ginger bender and get it over with, right? We'd be here all night with me, him, and Han and looking. You know how I roll. We'd be here all night. Huh. Was that it? Nope. That's not it either. Oh, well. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Uh, yeah, I give up. I give up. Oh, well. Don't forget, you guys, I made a video earlier about Megan's wedding dress. And I don't know how many people have seen it, but don't turn it into a food truck video. Make sure you go and watch it. Oh, Amy Girl's hanging out. Thank you so much. Willem, I think that's nope, that one's too long. That spelling is too long. He doesn't spell it like that. Let me see here. King Willem Alexander. Not William. Willem. Oh, there it is. Huh. That's how you spell it. It's Will M. Man, that's so easy. Will M. You literally spell it Will E-M. That is too easy. And I still don't see it, so never mind. Uh, And they used that photo of Alexander, the one where he looks like he's so angry that he's going to just rip Harry's head off. And they're sitting up there playing the hokey pokey. Yeah, do go on. Okay, Invictus. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. Oh, well, hell, I didn't even know how you spell Invictus. How you spell that? Invictus. Maybe I'm just tired and need to go to bed. That's what I should do. Ah, let me see what this one is. Okay, that's 2.5 minutes long. Oh my goodness, what is this one from? I don't remember this one. Oh, make it moderate. Okay, that was a recent video. That's why I don't recognize it. Oh, is this it? Is this it? I think this is it. Yes, I found it. I found it. I found it. Okay. So this is the one. Remember, they were saying that the king of the Netherlands was supposed to have snubbed Harry. I want you to see what a snub looks like from the king of the Netherlands. Okay, this is a snub from Willem Alexander. Everybody should be so cruel. Wait a minute. Wait, you guys. I'm so sorry, but the beginning of this was actually really good. Did you see the way that I took those headlines of the snub? All right, take a look at it again. I thought that was pretty clever. They had built up all of this hostility toward Harry. All right, let's start the beginning again. Good night, Connie Ballmer.
Majesteit, nog maar even. Majesteit! Majesteit!
That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App.
Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.
You guys see that photo right there? Um, all right, you may not notice that the color is a little off, but they're actually photographs of Harry and Meghan with different people. I actually put the two photos together. So I think it was like kind of like sunset when Meghan took that photo, and Harry's was actually from inside of a television studio. And I just kind of put the two of them together. But it looks kind of seamless. But yeah, you could probably just notice that the color's a bit off. But yeah, that was actually not them together. They were photographs with other people at Invictus. But it just, I looked at those photos. I'm like, they ought to be together. Leg says, I can't wait to watch this in Hearts of Invictus. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Legs. And you'll get a chance to see how hostile the king of the Netherlands was with Harry and how he gave him the what for when he got there. I love this photo of Willem Alexander. Let me see this one where he looks like, oh, when I see that Harry, when I see that fellow Ginger, when I find my cousin Harry, oh, he's going to get it. And what happens? They're sitting up there playing hokey pokey and looked like they were doing whatever song that was. But how funny. It just goes to show. And then, of course, after that day, then there was not. I mean, of course, he's the king of the Netherlands. He's not going to spend every day at Invictus. He was planning to go to a certain portion of it. And also, there was a lot of big brass military people that showed up from various countries, especially the Netherlands. So, so many great things happened, and they did their best to try to rain on the parade of Invictus, but it was not effective at all. It was pointless. Everything went their way. So, let's see. Sonia Johnson says, I would not have known if you didn't say it, Baron. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what I said, but okay. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you're right. That's why we point these things out, because there's so much information available that when something really good happens, you just don't want people to miss it. So that's why it's so important to share these things, because to any casual observer, like days of them saying, oh, Harry has been snubbed by the Dutch royal family. Harry went to the Netherlands part of a team to put on the best possible production for the Invictus athletes and their families, organized, and to make sure that no one was left behind or left out. That was the whole thing. The focus was on the competitors and their families. They were the focus of everything. And so, unfortunately, the media, the tabloid media, was doing everything they could to make it about Harry and Meghan. It's not about Meghan. It's not about Harry. It's about the athletes. They are merely there to facilitate this gathering. And if their celebrity, for lack of a better word, helps to bring the Invictus to the wider world, then so be it. So be it. This is why William invited David Beckham to fly on a private jet with all those carbon emissions from the Middle East to Boston to make an appearance, to petition for his knighthood or whatever, and then get back on a private jet and go back over to the Middle East. Why did he do that? Because of Beckham's name recognition. Because he looks good in a suit, because he has a great hairline. I don't know, but whatever the reason is, that's what William did. But when William does it, it's not a thing. If Harry invites people, then there's something subversive about it. So there you go. And that is why the Sussex squad is so important, so that we can, I guess, knock down some of those lies that they try to put up there. We tear them down. We chew them up and spit them out. Ugh. So anyway, thanks for letting me share that video. I hadn't seen it myself since whenever I made it, but it was fun. And I forgot all about the beginning with that Jaws theme. That was funny. Okay, let me see. Oh, thank you, B10 Power. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I guess we're done. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to share. Or is there? Let me see if I can find just one more video. And don't worry about the phone. That's my aunt. She's up late anyway. Let me see if I can find one more. Just one more. Because I am in the Invictus spirit. You know what I mean? And I just, I don't want to lose this high. Let me see. I think we just looked at that one. We just watched the one with the flag. Let me see. Let's do Megan Invictus. Yeah, just in case there's any derangers watching, let's do Megan. Oh, sorry about that. I don't want to get dinged for a copyright. You know, even if it's not the actual song, but got to be careful with that background music. Have to be very careful with that. Oh, the love. Don't you love it? Look at the love. You might recognize this from Madame Duchess. Remember that little scene from Madame Duchess? Yeah, that's our Megan. We love her. All right. Okay, one more. That was so short. We really ought to have another one, right? That was too short. Let me see what I can find. I am in the Invictus mood right now. Huh. What is that one? I don't know what that is. Okay. I don't want to do the long one. I'll put a link up for that long one, but let me see. I don't know what this is. Let me see what this one is. Oh, that's the Invictus sign. Okay, that's a new video, so let me find something else. That was the Invictus sign. It's like, what in the world is that? Okay. Well, how about this one? Wait, what is that? I don't know what this is either. Okay, yeah, that was another short one. All right, what the heck? Let's just do this one then. I know what this one is. This is the way it opened when Megan arrived. Yeah, this is when Megan gave the lady her coat for the baby. The baby was cold. Thank you, Joy and more.
What's the name? Clara.
Yeah, Megan said, "Isn't the baby cold?" And Megan just took her coat off and gave it to her. Now, how many people may have wanted to keep that coat? Wasn't that sweet? That was just such a beautiful gesture.
Oh fuck, ja hoor. Ja hoor, ja hoor. Oh fuck, oh fuck.
Did I just hear the F-bomb? Oh, that's the white Valentino suit. Oh, thank you, B10. Love that suit. That suit looks amazing. Oh, no worry, Bramil Morrison. Don't you love that suit? That is so perfect for her. Okay, now what is this one?
Give him a warm welcome, the Duke of Sussex, Julian.
Look at how happy the dog is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duke of Sussex. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, first place and gold medal for Team the United States of America! The United States represented by number 23, Sean Roberts, 24, Josh Rodman, 21, Joel Rodriguez, 20, Tisha Knickerbocker, 20, Kevin Green, 6, Brent Garlick, 17, Carol Hollinger,
How does Harry do this?
7, George Vera, 11, Kevin Green,
Thank you,
number
Vijay.
9, Jay Smooth, number 10, Larry Franklin Jr., number 5, Darby Cha, number 13,
Oh, I remember that guy right there. The guy
number 35, Carlos Jimenez. Coach of Team USA is Daniel Kesher.
And this is when they raised the flag. This is the flag for Dusseldorf. I think at the end of last year's Invictus, they had a flag ceremony in Dusseldorf.
As soon as he saw you,
First time he saw me was, can I see the princess?
Is that
And
what
I
he
was like,
said?
okay, well, you know, I get that a lot now.
Do you?
And it's like, hi, nice to see you. Where's your wife?
that's exactly what.
Okay, fine.
He's like, hi, can I see the princess?
I'm really sorry, she's not here right now. Can you leave a message?
And then he was like, okay. He went out,
You're like,
went to play with his toys.
How does it feel to be
It's
second
always
banana?
a tricky one with kids as
Yeah,
well. You
I
know,
know.
the kids is like, hey, where's your crown and cape? It's like, we don't actually have that, but
Thank you.
I'm
There
sorry.
you go. There you go. Joelle, thank you, honey. That was great.
You remember what my son said to you? As
What?
soon as-
All right, Kieran, congratulations on your wedding. Sorry, were you going to be best man or not?
I was going to be an usher, yeah.
You're just
Not
an
the best
usher,
man.
not the best man.
The better man.
Awkward. Anyway, congratulations. Sorry he couldn't be there with you, but he's here instead. He was eating herring yesterday or the day before.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, let's not
It
talk
was
about
yesterday, yeah.
that. Anyway, congratulations. Coach's home.
It's not gonna take a long time before I.
You're slower than me. I'm doomed.
We're having the same barber, I guess.
Nou, de haarlijnen zijn besproken.
Yeah, that was when Harry was talking to the guy in the orange shirt. You know, I couldn't share the video; I can only share the audio. But he was talking to the guy in the orange shirt, and they were talking about their hair loss. And Harry was like, "Yeah, I'm afraid I'm doomed." And the guy said, "Yeah, it just looks like we go to the same barber." So yeah, I'm so glad that Harry is not like super sensitive about it. That you know, because it can be very painful for some people, and who knows, maybe it's been painful for him, and he's like beyond that now because his life is so much bigger than it was before he left from the UK. But his, you know, his life was already huge, but it's just so much greater now. He can reach so many more people. He doesn't have to downplay his abilities to make his brother feel better about being so inadequate and useless in so many cases. So um, yeah, I'm just glad that Harry has found his calling. He's found his voice. He's so much more complete than he would have been if had he stayed there. Uh, okay, I'm looking if there's just one more quick thing that we could look at before we go. I was trying to find the guy with the bald head. I know I have him somewhere here. I don't remember which video it was, but he did a promo video for the Invictus where he was excited about going to The Hague. And I wish I could find that. I just don't remember which one it is. I got quite a few of them actually that I saved. Let me see. We just saw that one. Oh, this is from April. Well, let me see. I don't think this is it, but let me take a look.
Hi guys.
You guys remember this?
So, am I disturbing something? It looks like you guys were busy before I got on. To you, Rachel, like, you know, first time, obviously, that you've been selected as captain for this rowdy bunch behind you. So far, it seems as though you're doing well by the fact that they're all sitting down. But are you excited? Are you nervous? I mean,
yeah, excited and nervous. I think it's been a very long journey to get here, but what an amazing team to do it with. We've came through ups and downs with the pandemic, and I know as soon as we all get there, it'll be just amazing to just look back at the team and just see how far we've actually came. It's going to be really special.
Yeah, that was that surprise. I don't think that they were expecting Harry. They were told to gather, and they all sat down, and the next thing you know, hello, hello, hello. So yeah, that's I remember that moment right there. Let me see here. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't want that gesture to be ignored. That the guy curtsied to Megan. I don't even think he curtsied to, or he or she. I don't even think they curtsied to Harry, but they did to Megan. I thought that was really sweet. Oh man, but that was you see, where is the one where Megan invites I'm sorry, not invites, but welcome Harry to the stage? I don't know which one that one is. Okay, so that's that. Don't you love my organization or the lack thereof? Now, what is this Invictus highlights? I think this is it. This is that guy.
I admire Prince Harry a lot. For him to be using his name to put attention to these games, I think it's really respectable. He's very genuine, and you can tell that he takes this cause at heart. I admire Prince Harry a lot. For him to be using his name to put attention to these games, I think it's really respectable. He's very genuine, and you can tell that he takes this cause at heart. I admire Prince Harry a lot. For him.
Okay, I don't know. I think that's like stuck in a loop. Or did I do that 3 times? It seems like it was stuck or something. I don't remember what happened there. But anyway, I'm just going to forward it a little bit.
I'm U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Sean Reynolds, part of Team U.S. Invictus. Looking forward to see everybody in The Hague. Good luck to all the participants. Looking forward to bring home gold.
Oh yeah, these were the very first photos. These were the very first photos that came from The Hague last time.
Find that very well, yeah. But he was baby Lily.
Good night, Evelyn B.
And what's her name? Clara.
Me too, Mabel Jones. I'm having so much fun. Okay, I didn't realize I had mixed this with another video, but yeah, this is the one that I mixed. I love when Harry notices the baby.
Ja hoor. Ja hoor. Ja hoor. Oh fuck, oh fuck.
Walk, Megan, walk, walk that Valentino, Megan. Too bad William doesn't get crowds like that. that's Romania.
Now, it is my distinguished honor to introduce someone that I think you'll all be very excited to hear from. He has also spent many late nights and early mornings planning for these games to make them as perfect as possible for each of you. I could not love and respect him more, and I know that all of you feel the same, because he is your fellow veteran, having served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan and 10 years of military service. He's the founder of the Invictus Games and the father to our 2 little ones, Archie and Lily. Please welcome my incredible husband, Prince Henry, the Duke of Sussex.
Helene Ferris has promised this is the last video.
How are we doing? Hi, nice to see you. I'm going to see you tonight. Yes. We'll see you backstage.
Yes.
Are you enjoying yourselves?
Yeah.
Yes. I saw your little video the other day. You running up and down the track. Well done. Keep busy. See you later.
Okay. See you
Yes,
later.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. See you.
And he mentioned to them that he was going to see them later. Well, that was because they had an interview.
What is your wish for Archie and Lilibet?
To grow up in a better world. To grow up in a fairer world, a safer world, a more equal world. It's not going to be easy, but I will never, ever, ever rest until I, as a parent, have tried to at least tried to make the world a better place for them. Because it is our responsibility that the world is the way that it is now. And I don't think that we should be bringing children into the world unless we are going to make that commitment to make it better for them. We cannot steal your future.
my face hurts from smiling. I'm just like smiling.
Hi, Soraya. Sending big hellos and lots of thanks for your dad being here. He's going to have a great week.
That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.